Hi guys and good morning. It is currently 20 to 9 and my boyfriend's just away to drop the kid off at school, so I thought, seeing as it's been a wee while since I've done a video, I'd do like a wee chatty get ready with me. I did ask for questions to do a bit of a get to know me because I've not really done that much yet. I've just kind of spoke at yous. So I've got a couple of questions to answer. Most of them are for the dancing kids, so most of them are dancing related. But I did get some of my friends to send me some questions as well. So first things first, I'm going to go get dressed and then do my hair and makeup. And then the only thing I really need to do today is take the dog a walk. I am teaching a dance class tonight, but that's not till 5 o'clock, so kind of got a while before I actually need to do anything exciting. Also, excuse this massive spot on my face, it's annoying me too, and I apologise. So let's get ready. So first things first, I'm going to wash my face, and what I've been using for my cleanser is this, the Inkey List Salicylic Acid Cleanser, and I know you obviously can't tell with this, but it has been like a lifesaver, especially because obviously we're wearing masks all the time and stuff as well. Like, I've got really sensitive skin, so it just completely, it's horrendous. But that stuff has absolutely saved my life. So if you're really prone to having spots and you kind of look like a teenager a wee bit, I would 1000% recommend getting that cleanser. For my moisturiser, I've been using the Avon a new revitalising creams. I don't know why I couldn't say that there. But it comes with the day and the night. So obviously I'm going to use the day one just now, and it's SPF 25. So that's obviously the main thing you're looking for a moisturiser. These are actually for kind of like older ladies. And it's got like plumping stuff in it to sort of straighten out your wrinkles. So I know it sounds ridiculous that at my age that's what I'm using, but I do actually, I mean, you can probably tell, but I have quite a wrinkly forehead, so that is why I use something sort of aimed at older ladies, because I don't want to look like an older lady. And obviously anti-aging cream doesn't need to just be for people who already have wrinkles. I mean, I do, but it is going to help stop me from getting any worse. So I mean, it's always good that I've got that wee extra bit of help. That spot is actually agony. Like, I never ever just have clear skin. Like, I'll have clear skin for one day a month maybe, and then it just explodes. I have probably the most sensitive skin in the world, and like, I can literally use the same fabric softener or washing up powder for like a month, and just all of a sudden one day I'll like take an allergic reaction and come out in mad rashes and my skin breaks out, and I'll change it up again and again, I'll be fine for a month, and then all of a sudden I'll take an allergic reaction again, which is a bit of a pain. Like, I started dyeing my hair when I was 14, 15, don't know, one of those ages. I used to dye it black all the time because I was a goth. And just every single time I dyed my hair, I used the Schwarzkopf Live XL dye. And I mean, I literally used that for years, and then when I was like 18, 19, I used it one day, and I took like a severe allergic reaction, like went to A&E and stuff. I had like a rash all over my full entire body, my scalp was on fire. And I went to A&E and they were like, oh, you're just allergic to whatever you used, like just don't use it again, and like put moisturiser in your body. Apparently moisturiser was going to fix the state that I was in. Don't know how that was going to work, but I just thought it was really weird. Like, I literally just become allergic to things out of nowhere all the time. So if anyone knows why I do that, feel free to hit me up and let me know why I'm such a medical anomaly. Next thing I'm going to do is just straighten my hair. I'm just waiting for my straightener to heat up now. So questions. So like I said, most of the questions that I got were dance related. So the first question was, what age did you start dancing and why did you get into dance? I originally went to a school, I couldn't even tell you what it's called, I just know my teacher was called Miss Mary, when I was 5, and I went with my best friend Chloe at the time, and I done majorettes in tap, but they had like loads of dance schools everywhere, and the show every year was in Stirling, so I never actually got to do a dance show or like a competition or anything because they were always like miles away and neither of our mums drove. So I only stayed there for like a year, I think, and then I quit dancing for a couple of years. And then when I was 8, my gran moved in next door to who would be my first ballet teacher, Miss Reid. And she'd said to my gran one day, like, you know, she looks like she'd be good at it. I was obviously jumping about my gran's garden, making up my own dances or whatever, and she was like, why don't you just bring her along? So I eventually went to my first class with Miss Reid. I done ballet, tap and jazz with her, and I was really, really into it. And like as soon as I started, that was it. Like that was me for the rest of my life. I was going to dance. And then there was another teacher, Karen, who done rock and roll and disco for the same school. So after my first show, I think, I joined with her as well and started doing the exams and the shows for the disco and rock and roll as well. It wasn't like proper freestyle disco, it was just like BATD disco. It was not the same thing. Like, I'm not a freestyle dancer by any matter of means, or I'd be slightly more flexible than I am. And just as soon as I started dancing, like with Miss Reid that second time, I was just always, that's what I was going to be when I grew up. I was either going to be a dancer or I was going to teach, and that's just always what I've stuck with every sort of yeah. And the second question was, what is the best thing that I've done in dance? So in 2018, I auditioned, and it was actually with a cheer team that I used to be on called Rockstar that are based in Renfrew. And in 2018 they got a bid to go to the World Championships, and it was for lyrical jazz, so I went to the audition for that and I got in. So basically we went to Florida for, I think it was 10 days we went away for, and we were there for a couple of days, and then we had the ICU Dance Championships, so we went and we performed in that, and we came 7th in the world, I want to say. So that was obviously amazing. And then we had a couple of extra days training, and then we had, I always get this wrong, ICASF Dance Worlds, and I was only reserved for that, so I didn't actually go on stage for the second competition, but obviously I still went to all the training and went and supported the team, and I think got 7th or 8th for that one as well. I'm not really sure, it was that long ago and I am quite old, so my memory's not what it used to be. But that was obviously just an amazing experience, and don't get me wrong, like, it was hard. Like, there was some mornings we were up at like 5:30, 6 in the morning to go work out for an hour, and then we'd be training for like 3 hours. Like, as much as we were in Florida, I wouldn't have said we were on holiday in Florida, do you know what I mean? We did get to go to some parks, and we went to fireworks and stuff at like the Magic Kingdom, but most of the time we were there we were training or at competition, so I mean it was pretty full on constantly. And like the whole time we were there, I mean there was times where like we were all just sitting in like the villa, we all get divided into villas of like 8, and there were times where we were all just sitting crying and cuddling each other for like literally hours. It was so hard going, but it was one of the things when you look back, like all the hard work was worth it in the end. And my last dance related question was, lightness if you can hear, my god. My last dance related question was, what is my favourite style of dance? Now this, depending on what day it is, can fluctuate a wee bit, but I'd say 9 times out of 10 if you ask me what my favourite style of dance is, which might shock some people, I'd say my favourite style of dance is jazz. I don't actually get to do it with my kids as much as I'd like to, just because a lot of competitions don't really do jazz. They see it as a sort of like outdated style or whatever, and I don't really think a lot of my kids that's really their thing. A lot of them, they're either like hardcore hip hop kids or they're hardcore lyrical kids, and then I've got like the odd one that really likes acro, but Jazz is my baby and it always will be my baby. Like, if I could only dance one style ever again, I would say Jazz. I don't even think I'd need to think about that twice. I don't know what situation I'd be in, to be fair, that I'd only ever be able to pick one style of dance again. Don't really know what kind of twisted situation that would incur, but 1000% Jazz every single time. Hi guys, I actually ended up just doing my makeup off camera because my boyfriend came in from dropping the wee one off at work at school, and he had to go to Asda and pick up a couple of things for school because it's coming up for like World Book Day, so I had to get like costumes and I had to get him like new bits and bobs for his school uniform and stuff. Oh my god, this looks really muddy in this lighting. So I ended up just doing it quickly off camera while he gibbered rubbish at me. So we went to Asda and picked up some bits and bobs and then came back. I'm just going to reapply my lipstick while I'm talking to you because obviously I had a mask on and it's smudged everywhere. So question wise, where was I? Oh yeah, the dance stuff. By the way, this is Leo by Jeffree Star. It's just the wee mini one. It came in like the Volt, like the Nudes Volt. And I actually missed one. There was one more dance related question, and it was, what advice would you give to like not only your dancers but like dancers coming up kind of thing. And I will say that the best advice you can give to any dancer is just don't give up. Dance is one of those sort of careers that is really, really hard to get into, and obviously it's not just like you go to a job interview and if you're qualified you get it. Sometimes you not get a job because you don't look the right way. You might not get a job because you're blonde and they're looking for brunettes. Like, it's that picky. It could be like you're a size 8 and they're looking specifically for size 6s. So like, obviously I think it's really hard in the world as well to get really down on yourself and be really self-conscious because you're constantly getting told like, you don't look this way, you don't look that way. Like, it is really, really hard. But the one thing I will tell every dancer is like, never ever give up. If you want it, it is going to be hard and you're going to have days where you feel like giving up, but don't. Like, just never ever stop trying because you will get that one yes one day. And honestly, the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. So if you feel like you're doing competitions and you're always getting like 4th place, 5th place, 6th place, and you're already practicing 6 hours a day and you're like, well, why am I putting in all this work and I'm not getting anywhere? Yeah, maybe you're practicing 6 hours a day, but the girl that bet you probably is practicing for 7 or 8 hours a day. So just always push yourself to be your best and don't always try to dance better, dance smarter. So don't work on absolutely everything. If you're really, really good at turns, don't spend 4 hours practicing turns when you could be spending that time working on what you need to work on the most, if that makes sense. So like, if you're really struggling with your jumps, then use the time that you have to practice to work on your jumps. Make sure you're always stretching, always, always, always. I'd say at least try for half an hour a day, but if you can stretch for an hour a day, even if it's like half an hour in the morning and half an hour at night, stretch as much as you can. Not only just because you want to be bending, you want to be able to like flip or whatever, like, it's not about that, but the looser your body is and the more control you are of your body, like, the nicer you can make your lines look. And it'll really help you make things look easy, because I feel like one of the hardest things as a dancer is just making things look easy and effortless and like making it look like you're not struggling. One of the most off-putting things I'd say about watching a dancer is if they look like it's really, really hard for them to do it. Like, they're doing the moves but they look like it's difficult. The best thing you can do is practice that much that it feels easy, because if it feels easy, it'll look easy and people are just going to enjoy watching you more, really. I feel like I need to put more foundation and concealer on that spot. I swear to God, I've literally got like 18 layers of everything on it, and every time I even like remotely look at it, it's like all the makeup comes off of it and it really does me nothing. So yeah, for those who don't know, I actually have my own dance school, Full Tilt Dance Company, and we're based in Erskine, and I've had that for 3.5 years, I think now. We are still quite a small school because obviously we hadn't long opened and we'd only done our first show, and then obviously all this lockdown stuff happened. But as much as we only managed one show, we do competitions sorry, my under eyes are all mascara as well. We have done quite a few competitions, and quite a few of my kids have actually done quite well at them considering we're new to them. And we don't really do them that often. Like, I know a lot of schools will do so many competitions a month, or like they'll go like every single Saturday or whatever. We don't really do that. It'll be like one every couple of months or something. But considering that's the case, I'd say they do pretty well, really. And we've just recently been doing online dance competitions. So obviously with them, because not everybody's got a million metres of space in their living room, it's been kind of difficult trying to even just choreograph things to fill up the dance that they've got the space to actually physically do it. But the most recent one we just done was actually quite good. One of my girls, it was an under 8 hip hop, she was against like 40 girls and she still managed to place in the top 5, so that was pretty smashing, I'd say. Shout out to you. So yeah, that was actually the last dance related question, and I guess I'll start talking about the other stuff now, like, it's just about me, which I'd say is pretty boring, but to be fair, yous are probably more into it because not everyone that's watching me is going to be a dancer or care about dance. So one of the most common questions I got were, where are you from? And I think that's because I always seem to be here, there and everywhere. So I am from Erskine and I do live in Erskine. I just recently last year actually moved back in with my mum. But for this lockdown I've been staying with my boyfriend in Motherwell. I've not been jumping back and forward or anything, so it's not like we're breaking boundary rules or whatever, but I have like pretty much lived here since the start of the last lockdown. And I'm only planning on going back through once to pick up a prescription, but that obviously classifies as essential travel, so that's okay. So as I was filming, the dog starts going absolutely mental and decides that it's necessary that I took my walk right then and there. This is pretty much typically my morning routine, to be fair. I decide that I'm doing things and everyone else decides I'm doing something else. So I'm currently just walking the dog, which brings me to one of my other questions, which were, what is your dog's name and how old is he? So my dog is called Frankie and he is 5 years old and he is technically a jug. He's a mix between a pug and a Jack Russell. I only got him about 2 years ago. It was actually my friend's dog, but they already had, I think, 4 kids. And his wife got pregnant with the 5th. And I think because obviously they already had loads of kids, he already kind of wasn't getting as much time as they wanted to give him. And with the new baby on the way, obviously that was going to stay that way for a while. So they put him up for adoption and I said I'd take him because obviously I don't live too far away and they'd always be able to come visit him and check up on him, and obviously they knew me well enough that they knew that he was going to be okay. In fact, while I'm out, let's see if you want to say hi. Frankie, meow. Say hi, yeah? So that's Frankie. He's a good wee guy. He barks a lot, granted, but I'd say as far as dog goes, he's been pretty not bad to have around. And the last question I got literally just said, tell us a little bit about yourself, which is pretty broad spectrum. And obviously I've made a couple of videos now, so I don't really know how much detail I went into about my life already, like what you would know already and what you don't. But obviously, hi, my name's Laura. Sorry that I'm not like particularly making eye contact, by the way, I'm just checking the dog's not eating anything he shouldn't be. So my name's Laura, I'm 27, and I mean obviously you already know I'm a dance teacher, but as well as that I, when the world is as it should be, work in a bar called Macintoshes in Dalmuir. It's quite a nice wee place. It's like slightly a bit of a old man's bar, but it's one of the places you go in and just like, it could be your first time in the place and it feels like home. There's no like cliques or anything like that. It's like everybody in the whole place knows everybody and everybody talks to everybody, and it's just lovely, really, like, and they're really, really loyal to the staff as well, I will say. It's like if anyone ever caused any bother ever, like, we don't even need to kick him out because the customers have already done it for us. As well as that, I also sell Body Shop products. So as much as obviously I think usually people do like parties and stuff, but obviously we're in lockdown, which is kind of why I started doing it, just to sort of fill up some of my free time. So mainly I've got a Facebook group. If anybody's interested, let me know and I can add you into that. And I just do like wee sales and stuff on there, and I try to like get as many deals as I can. And that's about that really. That's pretty much what I do with my time when I'm not dancing or choreographing for dancing or planning competitions or making costumes for dancing. And that is pretty much all that really goes on in my life. So that is pretty much all from me today, I think. I have just put through a pretty little thing order, so I'll do a bit of a haul when that comes. Hopefully that should be here tomorrow, but I'm not 100% sure. I've also ordered a new laptop today at last, so hopefully soon I'll be able to get, sorry I'm not doing it, hopefully soon I'll be able to edit the videos a wee bit properly, because obviously I'm doing it on my phone just now, so it's not really the best quality. I'm doing what I can. Like I said in my very first video, I'm just kind of doing these videos like for fun and for something to pass the time, and I don't know, just sort of so that in years gone by I can look back at it and be like, well, this is what I done during lockdown kind of thing. And I might, after the whole coronavirus thing goes away, still make videos, but I'm kind of playing it by ear, and I'll see how I feel at the time, I suppose. So yeah, that's me for today, guys. I'm going to just finish walking the dog, and then the wee one's got a birthday party today out in his cousin's garden, so need to get him ready for that. Do his hair, because he's decided ever since the first time I straightened his hair that he wants his hair straightened enough every day now. So get him ready for that, drop him off there. I'm teaching a dance class from 5 to, well no, I'm teaching a stretch class from 5 to 6, and then I think I'm just having an early night. Ever since the wee ones went back to school, I've been absolutely gutted, because obviously I've not been used to waking up that early. But anyway, I'll shoot just now and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching, guys.